and we'll now head over to Belgium, where we'll be hearing from Françoise Bartiaux. So over to you.
Yes. Thank you, Harriet, and thank you very much for organizing this workshop. So I will speak about a mixed method research dealing with unequal capability deployment and unequal access to affordable warmth. So I will go very briefly to the concepts part because it has already been done. I will present the data and methods, a few results, and concluding. In fact, I will try in 10 minutes to go over 3 papers, 2 on the quantitative part. The first one was published in Applied Energy. The second one, which enlarges the analysis to Bulgaria and Austria, was published in Global Transitions. And the last one was very recently published in the Journal of Human Development and Capabilities with Rosie and a Belgian colleague. So energy poverty is, as you know, a poverty of energy services. The energy justice paradigm has already been presented by Neil, and the capability concept has also been presented. In these papers, in this research, we use the list of capabilities developed by Nussbaum, which has already been presented by Rosie earlier. So for the data, for the quantitative part, we have relied on the GGS data. The GG Generation and Gender Program is a multi-scope survey which has been realized in 20 countries and in 14 countries, among them have also realized a second wave. We have defined what we call energy poverty households by using 4 variables. Do you have affordability problems in keeping the home adequately warm? Arrears on utility bills, difficulty to meet ends, and for the Belgian analysis, financial and non-financial assistance granted by the state as a last resort help. So in the choice of the variables, we have given importance to the self-valuation of energy incomes and own financial possibilities because, as Fitzpatrick has put it, our internal sense of worth is also made in relations to other people. We have developed a new statistical index, which I will explain later. And for the qualitative part of the study, we have relied on 60 in-depth interviews with persons living in energy poverty. We have tried to find different socio-demographic profiles. We have used different intermediaries. The objective was to have one intermediary person different for each interviewed person. It was a bit difficult to reach that goal. And you can find more explanation in our last paper. For the results, I will concentrate on the capability play because it was an unexpected result and it is very rare in the literature to study what are the leisure, the recreational activities for people in energy poverty. So you see the typology we have used for Belgium, from the energy poor to the energy richest households. We have selected in the GGP data these variables to proxy this capability play. Well, there is an error there. And then for calculating what we have called the variability index, we have computed the mean between these proportions for the energy poor and for all categories. And we have calculated the difference between the mean for the energy poor and the energy richest, divided by the mean of these two figures. So this gives a variability index, and you can see here that among all the capabilities we could test with these data, the capability play shows very high variations between energy poor and energy richest households. We have then, with other co-authors, extended this analysis to Austria and Bulgaria, and linked this capability deployment among energy poor and energy richest households. We have linked that with the energy transitions has done in those countries. And again, you see here and in the tables that the play capability is very discriminating between energy poor and energy richer households. Turning to the qualitative part of the study, we have taken the 5 capabilities more discriminating in Belgium between energy poor households and energy richest households. And we have tried to go deeper in the analysis of these capabilities with quotes from these in-depth interviews. You see here in the first quote from a single mother, unemployed, tenant, that in the same sentence, she downgrades her project, her dreams, because she says when things will be better, we will go to the seaside for one day. We will go just maybe in the center of the city to have a drink together. Another quote of another lone mother. So play and laughter can provide some distance between oneself and one's living conditions, which can facilitate the questioning of them, even laughing of them. Another quote, again from another single mother who is on sickness leave. She has 3 children, I think. She says in a long sentence, you have got a lot in your mind. You have to make so many things, the housework, take care of the children and so on. She doesn't speak about leisure. She probably has not a lot of leisure. So this lack of mental availability is a manifestation of the capability play, and we have called that lack of mental availability a mental shrink. So in conclusion, the capability approach widens the analysis of energy poverty. A result is a paradox, because for all households, but especially for the energy richest, the the deployment of all the capabilities that we could operationalize here counters the deployment of the 8 capability related to nature. So environmental and social injustice should be tackled in common. But as Rosie has said in her presentation, in this era of climate change, energy justice policy should equalize capability deployment, not energy consumption. Other results, energy poverty shows a deprivation of capabilities, not only housing, health, mobility, and relationships, as it was already described in the literature, but also access to culture and leisure.
We're in the final minute there. Thank you.
Yes, that's my last slide.
Okay.
So we have also shown, thanks to these qualitative analysis, that there are vicious circles between restricted capabilities, and these vicious circles are opposed to the causal analysis which is usually done. And these vicious circles show also crucial extensions of the soul heat or eat dilemma. There are also dilemmas regarding health, leisure, and so on. And these dilemmas result in heavy mental load and in practical difficulties, which are evidenced by the poor emotional well-being of the energy-poor households. This relational approach that compares energy-poor households with energy-richer households has a method, and also the social comparison that the energy-poor people do with energy-richer makes the issue of social stigma clear, and thus also the dimension of political recognition. So it's important to acknowledge that poverty and deprivation of capabilities are also relative to the situation of other social groups. Thank you very much for your attention.